housing to me is just a basic human necessity that shouldn't be based on anything.
United States Senator Tim Kaine recently reintroduced a fair housing bill which includes protecting the LGBTQ community. The Fair and Equal Housing Act of 2019 is a bill that would add gender identity and sexual orientation to the classes protected from discrimination under the Fair Housing Act. It will ensure equal housing opportunities for all Americans.
I introduced a bill that I feel very passionately about, the Fair and Equal Housing Act. I've introduced it previously, and it would be to take the Federal Fair Housing Act of battling discrimination in housing and making sure that people are protected from discrimination on the grounds of their sexual orientation or gender identity.
Cole Troxell is the general manager of Baja Bean Mexican restaurant in Staunton. Troxell says he has friends who have been discriminated against because of their sexual orientation.
I know plenty of people who feel that they have been discriminated against in terms of housing.
The Virginia senator says more than 20 states and the District of Columbia have included gender identity and sexual orientation in their Fair Housing Act.
It's time for the federal government to show leadership as well in the Federal Fair Housing Act and protect people from any discrimination based upon who they love, their sexual orientation or gender identity.
As a person, a part of that community, as a trans man, I think that I feel, one, very fortunate that I have never had to experience those things, but there's a lot of privilege in that as well. And it is disheartening to think that when you have a community that already has a lot of opposition against them as far as, fighting for marriage, for equal marriage within the gay community for so long, and then you have job security that is an issue. The housing part just kind of hits on a more personal level because, secure housing is something that everybody desires, whether you be renting, owning, renting a room, no matter what it is. To have a roof over your head and know that that's the place that you can go and feel safe and secure, and then you don't, because at any point in time that can be taken from you.
I questioned Cole about his thoughts on Kaine's new fair housing bill.
He's introduced this bill before and with no success. So I do try to remain optimistic.
Troxell says he's well aware of Virginia being a part of the Bible Belt, and his lifestyle is an issue for some.
I think that in Virginia there's a lot of conservative values, and I would maybe assume that would play a part. But again, with housing, it just doesn't register for me because I don't feel like it's a threat to any other person's secure housing opportunities.
The Virginia senator says, as an attorney, he practiced fair housing law for 17 years.
I'm proud to introduce that bill, and we'll be looking for sponsors, co-sponsors, and opportunities to get it passed.
I would love to see housing be secured for the LGBTQ community. I think that would be huge. One less worry and one less security issue when there are already so many. Everybody wants to be able to go home, and I think that I know the value of home within just basic four walls, and I would love to see that be another thing that we step beyond and forward with, so that we can then again tend to the other security issues that we have within our community and start ticking off the list.
In Staunton, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.